when it comes to a first date, under no circumstances should you ever go to that person's house. The first date fix, and today we're going to be talking about online dating tips and hints part 2. For this particular video, I'm going to be giving you a couple of facts, a bit more statistics in order to help you understand exactly where I got this information from, and to give you a bit more hope that you in fact can bolster your online dating profile, get more matches, have an abundance of video chats until it's time to meet that person COVID-free and fall madly and deeply in love, because you can do it, trust me. Okay, number 1, the first tip I encourage everyone to do is step up your game with bios. You know, one of the worst things in the world is when you see someone with incredible pictures and you're thinking to yourself, oh, hello. Wow, rubbish. Not a single thing in their bio, and it does not look good on that person who couldn't even be bothered to give a few sentences. Over 50% of people online dating have these 4 things that they're doing. Either 1, they have no bio whatsoever. 2, they only have emojis, as if I'm supposed to work out what those emojis mean in comparison to your life. 3, the classic social media, add me on my Snapchat, my Instagram or IG. Or they're completely empty, which again is not. Edmund, cut that out please. Thank you. If he does it again, I'm taking that toy away. But interesting fact actually, so men, when it comes to online dating, women are more likely than men to categorize certain information as essential to see in others' profiles. Among online daters, 72% of women say it was very important to them that the profiles they looked at include the type of relationship the person was looking for, compared with about half of the men, which is 53%. So 72% care about the bio when it comes to women, and 53% of the men couldn't care less. I wonder why. My point being is that men, if you want to get more matches, you're more likely to get more matches if you increase your bio, if you increase the information that you have to put in there. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be your life story. Just a couple of positive affirmations, things that... Okay. Excuse me. You see that look right there? This is a look of frustration. This is a look of anger. He's very mad at me that I took his toy away. No more of this. The bar is so low that if you literally avoid those previous 4 things that I just mentioned, you immediately increase your chances of finding someone special. So do yourself a favor, update your bio. When it comes to online dating, you get what you give. i.e., if you say, hey, how are you to someone, don't be mad if they respond with, not bad thanks, how are you? If you want something different, if you want something original in terms of what you give out and in terms of what you receive, you have to do something original in terms of what you give out and what you receive. You see what I'm saying here, right? You get what you put out. It's amazing to me how many times people slide in my DM and complain about the options that they're getting on online dating. And when I see the kind of messages that they're sending, it's typically, hey, how are you? And then when that person responds with the same thing, they say, you see, people aren't making an effort for me. What? It has to go both ways. You all know how I feel about reciprocity. Ultimately, if you don't have a bio, if you don't have good messages, if you don't look like you want to try and make an effort when it comes to online dating, people are not going to want to try and make an effort with you. It really is that simple. People put their favorite TV shows and their favorite music and their favorite films. These are good things to put in there. But likes and hobbies and stuff like that are not really characteristics that you're looking for, and they're not characteristics as to who you are. If you say, I love The Office, I love this, I love that, this is one of my favorite albums, blah, 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 I love The Weeknd, you know, I love Rihanna, all of this great stuff, it's good to kind of have a conversation on it, but you can really only go so far. So rather than put your likes, put specific to characteristics that you're looking for. You know, I would love to find someone who's funny, which is probably the biggest cliche in the world, but I would like to find someone who's a good listener. I would love to find someone who's a good communicator. Those kind of people are naturally going to be attracted to what you put out because they find themselves to be a good communicator, or they can turn around and say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm looking for someone who's great at communication too. I'm Chad. Now, if you have a fantastic pair of boobs, or if you have abs that are cut like the Greek god, or if you have huge biceps and all that good stuff, that's okay. And you can display that to some degree. But what I'm saying is, if all you lead with are those specific body types, if all you lead with are bikini pictures, if all you lead with are pictures with your abs out and you flexing your muscles, if all you lead with are those things within your pictures, you're going to attract a specific demographic. Now, if you're looking to hook up, by all means do that. But if you're generally looking for something sincere, I probably wouldn't go with the obligatory cleavage shot or you in the gym flexing like you're a Greek god, right? I would probably kind of take it down a notch. And perhaps if you still want to show that you've worked so hard for that body, right? And you want to show it off, you can do it, but think more you're showing off your body in a classier way, okay? It's kind of like what writers say. They say show and don't tell. You don't want to describe every specific detail, but you want to show enough for people to know what's going on, right? You don't want to show every specific piece of your body, but you want to show enough so people know essentially what's under the hood. Have variety in the photographs that you put up there. Now, I mentioned some things about the photographs in the last video, but have some variety, okay? If every single one of your photos are a close-up like this, and it's like just variations of the jumper that you're wearing or variations of the jacket that you have on, it's kind of weird, right? Like, you need to have variation. You need to essentially show people a slice of your life and something that they could perhaps be joining. You know, hey, this is pretty much how I live my life sometimes, and this is what you could be joining, right? So have some pictures with you smiling with your teeth, have some pictures with you just smiling with your lips, have some pictures of you doing exercising, have some pictures of you doing a specific hobby that you do outside of work. If you think, Trey, I'm not really an active person, I read a lot, have a picture of you reading a book, right? Like, whatever you do, have a picture of you doing it to give them an insight as to how you live, okay? Multiple photos of you and your friends. Look, I get it. You're super popular. You're hanging out with friends all the time. You like to party, always going to events with your friends. Great, we get it, okay? But if every single picture is of you with your friends, it's going to make you come across as one-dimensional. In addition to that, sometimes I've looked at profiles and for the life of me, I didn't know who she was. I was like, yo, because even if there weren't a group picture of 4 friends or more, there was always 2 friends, including her, or 2 people, including her. And I was like, which one are you? And I honestly didn't know. And unfortunately, at least in my experience, 8 times out of 10, when there are pictures with multiple people, or if there is a picture with her and the other girl, I'm usually attracted with the person whose profile it doesn't end up being, i.e. I'm usually attracted to her friend as opposed to her, okay? This is you're selling. This is your online dating profile. So put more of you on there as opposed to your friends. Pictures that are 5 years old. I've said it before, but if you are posting pictures with you in high school and you're now 32, or you were posting pictures 8 years ago when you were in college and you're now 29, it's just not going to cut the mustard, because unless you stay in shape, unless you've kept the exact same hairstyle, it's not an accurate depiction of exactly who you are. In addition to that, the quality is probably crap. You probably took it on one of those bloody Nokia 3310s, right? Where I can barely even make out who you are, that grainy ass picture. When you're writing your bio, please don't put an array of negative dislikes. And what do I mean by that? No men who are under 5'9", just so you know, my kids come first. Yeah, no shit, like, do you know what I mean? No this, no that, you know, you must have a car, you must have a job. If you don't have this, don't hit me up. If you listen to heavy metal, don't hit me up. If you vote for Trump or Hillary Clinton, don't hit me up, blah, 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 blah. Do not list a negative array of what you don't like. And it makes you come across as just a negative person who no one really wants to hang out with. Whenever you have any kind of online dating bio, you have to make sure that you are as positive as possible. Not from a fake aspect, but you're leading with your best self. And if you're generally not a positive person, maybe you need to welcome that before you even consider getting into online dating. Just a tip, just a tip. No one-line bio cliches like, I'll fill this out later, or I don't know how to do this, or I'm so nervous, or I don't really know how to message people, so I figured I'd message blah, blah, blah. Look, don't write that stuff. It's just a cliche, and everyone's saying it. Everyone is saying, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Everyone is saying their friends told them to do this. Everyone is saying, let's not tell people we met on online dating apps. Everyone is giving an obligatory quote that you may or may not know from a famous movie. Everyone is doing this, okay? I don't want you to be a cliche. Please do not fall into the cliche traps of what literally every other person is doing on online dating. Yes, I'm talking to you people with your pictures of your fish and your rock climbing pictures and your sailing pictures. You know who you are. Found out some interesting information from the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal has revealed that bad grammar is the biggest turnoff for online daters. On Match.com, a study also found out that 72% of women think that good grammar is essential. Ladies and gentlemen, if your grammar is atrocious, step your game up. Do not say, how are you with how, the letter R, and then the letter U, question mark. They will not respond. All it takes is a few more sentences just to write a complete sentence. It's not that deep. In closing, don't get frustrated with what you're doing online. In that same research paper that I read by the Pew Research Center, I found this out. About 3 in 10 or more online dating users say someone continued to contact them on a dating site or app after they said they were not interested. 37% sent them a sexually explicit message or image they didn't ask for. 35% called them an offensive name, and 28%, about 1 in 10, say another user has threatened to physically harm them. Please don't be so frustrated or upset or mad with the process that you were threatening to harm anyone, that you were saying abusive things, and please, for the life of me, don't send anyone explicit pictures unless they ask for it. And even if they did ask for it before you've even met them, this should be raising red flags in your head, okay? Remember, 57% of people who did online dating generally said that overall they had a positive experience. You can be on that side of 57%, but you have to start changing these small things in regards to your online dating profile so that you can start attracting the high quality people that you deserve. And last but not least, a note on safety. Safety with online dating is one of the most important things that you can possibly do. When it comes to a first date, under no circumstances, not a single circumstance, should you ever go to that person's house. Ever. Never on the first date should you ever go to a person's house. On the first date, you want to be in a place that's in the open, where people are there. You just want to be in a place that's in the open. Always text your friends about the location. Always text your friends when you expect to be back. If you have keyring mace, put it on your keys whenever you go on a date. I'm not saying that every single person you go on a date is going to attack you. In fact, statistically, it's highly unlikely, but I want you to be safe. Now, if you feel like you enjoyed this video and this information was useful, feel free to give me a follow or subscribe. If you honestly feel like I've earned it, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.